excellent and everything I've come to expect from my wonderful, wonderful family at Littleport. But we've got a very special guest tonight, and everyone in Australia didn't hear us. So, good evening, friends.
Good evening.
Good evening, and welcome to Littleport Christian Spiritualists. It is a pleasure to welcome everybody here, both physically in the hall and online. So remember, the microphone's really good at picking up sound, so please do not swear very much. Welcome everyone, both those watching live and those who will be watching in the future, because I know there's quite a few of you. And of course, everyone in the hall tonight in this wonderful room with the great acoustics and the heating on, which helps. Thank you all for being part of what is a very, very, very important part of not only my life, but the lives of everyone who is involved in this way of life. It really is wonderful to see so many people taking an interest in the world of spirit, because through taking an interest in the world of spirit, we can take an active role in improving the world of the living spirit. And that is the truth. So first off, my friends, I did say we've got a special guest tonight. She's back. It's great to have her back. Give a big Littleport welcome for Tracy Bidwell. It's lovely to have you back, and I'm so glad to have you here.
No problem.
And she has been a little bit poorly recently, so give her some healing as you're working through your evening. Send your love and thoughts. Well, friends, to business. This is, as always, a service of mediumship, but whenever you see that word service, we recognize that it is also a divine service. So therefore, let us begin as always by opening in prayer. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you for the opportunity to come together and unite as one family under your banner of love and hope and friendship. We ask that you place a blessing on each person here present and the friends and families that they represent, that your love and light might shine through and prove that the truth and the hope that life is indeed eternal. For we know through that which we see through your works that life does indeed go on eternally. And as we place this service in your care and keeping, Great Spirit, we make the statement as ever that everything we do is in the name of love, in the name of truth, and in the name of light. Amen.
Amen.
Well, friends, first things first, notices. For those that didn't make it but wanted to, or did you miss out on the gong bath? You missed lots of lovely sounds. You missed these two in their lovely robes. And you also missed out on me snoring, so that's your hard luck. But I'm sure we will be doing it again in the not too distant. And if you want to know details, Stephen and Tracy have already done some lovely write-ups, including video of me snoring. And I'll be finishing my write-up tonight because it's been a bit of a hectic week. And we always know when Nick says that, it's time for his philosophy. And of course, one of the things about spiritualism is that our philosophy covers many borders, covers many boundaries, and tries to bring everything into one. You see, I will always have this somewhere around here with me, but I don't quote chapter and verse, and there's a reason. Because we're Christian spiritualists. I follow the teachings of Yeshua ben Yosef. Most people know him as Jesus Christ. And one of the things that he did was that he made scripture available to everyone. He didn't quote act. He took those lessons and he took those stories and he made them understandable for all. And these is where we get parables from. Now, I always say that if that second coming were to happen right now, he'd have an interview on Phil and Holly on This Morning, have a week in the Big Brother house, although now it would be Celebrity Get Me Out of Here. But he would communicate to us using memes. Bear with me. They say that a picture says 1,000 words. They say that sticking a couple of words to a picture makes that point made. But it's simple, to the point, and effective. And that was what he tried to do. Make faith, make religion, make the love of God available to everyone, no matter where they came from, who they are, or what they did. So that's the path we follow as spiritualists. Now, sometimes someone will stand up here, and I've done it myself. We will give flowery, floaty words. We will be as poetic as we can. But that doesn't always get the message across. So what we spiritualists do is we talk to spirit. We get our guidance from spirit, and we take a lead from the week we have had in order to convey a message that all of those wonderful spirit people filling up this hall tonight want to share, to give guidance and support and strength for all of those listening. Those messages can't always be flowery, poetic words, but they will always be from spirit. They will always be with an intent to give aid, comfort, support, and help. And quite often, we as spiritualists will reference the 8 principles of Christian spiritualism. And of course, I've covered that base already, because the one thing that we differ with other spiritualists of the modern variety is that we have 8 principles rather than 7. And that 8th principle is that we accept Jesus Christ, or, as I said earlier, Yeshua ben Yosef, as Lord, Saviour, and light of the world and elder brother. Now, why do I keep using that different name? I've spent a lot of time talking to people about various different things to do with Scripture. It's what you kind of do when you're an Archbishop of the New Christian Spiritualist Society. And you also study, you read, and you learn. And you never assume you know everything, because there's always something new to learn. And I've quite often stood here and said, if Jesus had been born 500 years later, we could have called him Joshua Carpenter. Because 500 years after Jesus was born, the Judaic people, the people of his nationality, of his land, of his learnings, of his life, started adopting the surname based on the job that their earthbound parents were following. So he would have been Carpenter. But why Joshua? Everyone knows his name's Jesus. No. And he would never have answered to that name. And we're quite fortunate that he's a decent bloke and does listen to that name, because it's not his name. The reason we've got that is because the name Yeshua was taken and translated from Hebrew to Greek, Greek to Roman, Roman to English. And that's how we got Jesus. It's a bit of a long way round the houses. And frankly, it's an insult. If I were to take anyone in this room's name and translate it from English to Latin, Latin to Greek, Greek to Hebrew, you would be given something completely different. And if someone were to call you in the street and say, "Oi, blah, blah," because I'm not very good at translating on the fly, you wouldn't answer. So it's important. And one of the first things that I ever learned about my brief spell in journalism, it was very brief, The wonderful lady who taught me is that you always get their names right. You always give them a capital letter, and you always refer to them by the name, and you don't follow it up with of so-and-so location, aged 23. You give people their proper name. The man that we talk about in the latter half of this book would have been called Yeshua ben Joseph, which translates directly from Hebrew to English as Joshua, son of Joseph. Why am I talking about this? The world is full of suppositions, misconceptions, idealizations, all manner of way of working so that we end up not doing what we're supposed to be doing. Because life is a distraction. And the reason life is a distraction is because we all have a right to speak and draw our own conclusions. It doesn't mean to say that your conclusions that you draw are correct, but you do the best you can. You listen to other people, learn from other people, and your conclusions grow. But if you remain closed to, it's my view, I'm right, you never learn, you never grow. Spiritualism is always about growth. Spiritualism is always about understanding something today we didn't understand yesterday. Spiritualism is never about, this is the way it's done and no one can argue with it. Never. I'm reminded of a wonderful medium and a wonderful lady who served this church 20 years ago. I was young, I was keen, I was eager. I'd just been made president of the church as it then was. And she said to me, and I will give you a small piece of background because I've got another 5 minutes, and I won't use it all, I promise. She said to me, what do you want from spiritualism? Where do you want to grow and go with spiritualism? Now, bear in mind, this lady was of a certain type of medium who was not always understood in the correct way. She was forthright, she was fiery, she had her opinions, and no one ever argued with her. And she always came across as that she wasn't too keen on the young. So being only about 19, 20, I was concerned by that comment. But I thought, you know what? One of the things that I've learned from spiritualism is be honest, speak your truth. So I did. And I said, well, to be honest with you, I'm quite happy doing what I'm doing now. One day, perhaps, I would like to be a minister. And she said to me, well, that's all very well, Nick, but you're president of your church now. You already minister to your congregation. Perceptions, understanding. I'd misjudged her character. I'd misjudged what her response would be because I listened to what other people had told me without checking it out for myself. That's what spiritualism is. We don't say, this is the truth, live by it, or suffer the consequences. We say, this is our way of life. You are more than welcome. Come with an open mind and listen to what we've got to say, and then draw your own conclusions based on the evidence provided. Don't walk into the room having already made your mind up. That's all we ever ask. And the truth is that when you get that evidence, when you get that proof, it's an opener of the mind and the soul. It's a relief because we know that the diabolical sometimes word that we live in is not the only existence we will ever have. where love and peace and upliftment will reign for eternity. But here's the lesson, my friends. And here is the one thing that I would ask people to take away with them. For centuries, we've all been told how to pray. And in that particular prayer that we were given, it says, on earth as it is in heaven. So why can't we, as individuals who are spirit in the living flesh, the living spirit, do what we can to make that future existence that we can look forward to once we've had our proof? Why can't we make sure that that life is the same as this life, by bringing forward love, by bringing forward peace, by bringing forward happiness? Anyone who says the Lord's Prayer is making that promise to do that in their own lifetime. But because we are taught it by rote, because we just say it, it doesn't happen. Because sometimes we don't even know what it is that we're saying. We say it because we're told to. Well, you already know my opinion on that. Prayers come from the heart. And the heart of every single person that I know is good wants earth as it is in heaven. Together, my friends, with passion, with kindness, with friendship, with courage, with an open mind and the willingness to learn a new thing every day, we can make earth as it is in heaven. That's our job. Let's get on with our jobs and make it possible. Thank you all for listening, and God bless you all. And I'll tell you something else we do a bit different in this place. See, normally, and I will say that this is how I was taught, and I have to be careful because the person who taught me how to do it is right in front of me. I will behave, I promise. Not much, though. That was something else I was taught. Behave, but not much. One of the things that we always used to do is have our reading. Some nice words, some thought-provoking words. And the philosophy would always follow on from that. Now, in my address, I've been talking about testing the spirit world, getting that evidence. We can use the reading and the philosophy to get that evidence by swapping it over. Because if spirit know what's already going to be said because they've told me to say it, they already know what the reading is. So therefore, they've already tied the two together. So rather than having the reading first and the philosophy second, let's test the spirits and have the reading after the philosophy, because they've already said that it's supposed to tie in. And it's that point that I say these wonderful magic words. Reverend Allen, all the way up north, are you there?
I certainly am. Good evening, everyone at Littleport.
Good evening. So, what reading do you have for us tonight?
Tonight's reading is called The Man in the Glass, and it's by Dale Wimbrow. Personally, I would change the title and some of the words in this, but I will honour the guy that wrote it. I would change man to person, but I'm not going to.
Lynn would agree with you.
When you get what you want in your struggle for self, and the world makes you king for a day, just go to the mirror and look at yourself and see what that man has to say. For it isn't your father or your mother or wife whose judgment upon you must pass. The fellow whose verdict counts most in your life is the one staring back from the glass. He is the fellow to please, never mind all the rest, for he's with you clear to the end, and you've just passed your most difficult and dangerous test. If the man in the glass is your friend, you may fool the whole world down the pathway of years and get pats on the back as you pass, but your final reward will be heartache and tears if you've cheated the man in the glass. Thank you.
Thank you. Alan, that was wonderful. Thank you, my friend. And what a tie-in, eh? That was wonderful. Thank you, Alan. And what a tie-in, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
God bless you, mate. Well, thank you very much. And we'll see you a bit later on.
Welcome as always.
Thank you, my friend. God bless.
And you.
Well, friends, tie-in indeed. And for those that couldn't quite hear it, it will be available on our church page afterwards. If anyone wants directions to find that, just give us a shout. We'll point in the right direction. Well, friends, in a few minutes' time, we're actually going to be finally welcoming the lovely Tracy onto our platform to give us our demonstration of mediumship. But before that, we've had the philosophy. Of course, Tracy is the mediumship. There's 1/3 of the triumvirate of spiritualism requiring to complete the full circle of mediumship tonight. And that is, of course, healing. For those that would like healing, at the end of each service, have a word with that young lady there with the glasses looking around as though she's concerned. She does provide healing before and after the service, and Lynn from time to time when she feels up to it. See, I brought you out of that one because we'd already had that conversation. But when she's up to it and wants to, she will. But of course, Kathy is here every week for that now, which is wonderful. Speaking of healing, sometimes actions can be more healing. So I'm going to make a couple of notices right now for my personal healing. The kitchen's been in chaos since January, and I've held back from doing anything about it. But the kitchen will be properly open every Thursday night. Mandy has agreed to do the setup and keep the kitchen going. And I know, Louise, you also offered. So between those two lovely ladies, I think that my dad would be quite pleased that the kitchen's in safe hands. I will still not be saying the kitchen is now open, but I've got to say something. So I will say the kitchen is like spiritualism, always open. And that way I get my catchphrase without stealing it from him. Interestingly enough, his video popped up tonight, and one or two people thought they saw him in the kitchen tonight as well. And of course, he will always be there making sure that you two are doing the tea in exactly the right way, brewing it to death, so that we can talk to the cups of tea next week. But the kitchen is always open from now on. Healing, an opportunity to send out your thoughts to all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort. And it doesn't have to be physical, it doesn't have to be mental, it doesn't have to be spiritual, it can be anything. Although, to be fair, those three words do pretty much cover all bases. But we make sure that we are open to all potential and possibility. But this is where we send out our thoughts to everyone who is in need. In particular, I'd like to ask for healing tonight. I've got a list I've been given. 2 young sisters are in need of healing tonight. And I know that the name Simon and family is quite important to mention too, for that healing and guidance and strength. And of course, anyone that pops up on the comments, this is your chance at home to share some names, and anyone in the room who can think of names and faces, think of them. Please remember to include yourself. It's not rude and naughty, it's what the point of it is. So let's join together as we say the healing prayer and listen for a moment to some peaceable music. And all you at home get candles, so you're very lucky. And we send out our thoughts as we say. Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto you all those who are sick and suffering and in need of comfort, be they sick in mind, body, or spirit, that it may please thee to heal them. This we ask for those we know, for those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them. We ask for them now. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, friends. Well, now is the time for me to sit down and shut up for a while, which I'm sure some people are always very pleased to hear. But I'm now going to hand over this service to a very good friend of this church and a very good friend personally, who is an exponent of this way of life in every sense of the word. So, friends, please, if she should come to you, speak in a clear voice, yes, no, or don't know. It's not that her or her spirit friends need that. It just helps. But we're all nosy, so we like to know what's going on. But do have a wonderful, uplifting evening, and remember to send her your remember to take your teeth out and wash them before the service. Remember to send your healing thoughts to her throughout the night. As I say, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Tracy Bidwell. They call me the Wanderer.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Some of you I recognise, some of you I've not seen before. Welcome, and thank you, Nick, for welcoming me. The way I work, I just accept whatever spirit gives me. I feel, I sense, I know, I hear sometimes, all different ways. So if you bear with me, if I come to you, please say yes or no. If it's no, no problem. I'll go back and ask. I don't always know where I'm going, so just bear with me. As I stood up, though, I did have a lady come straight into my energy. The feeling she gave me was somebody who was could be quite harsh with her tongue. She was quite a fearless lady, but for reasons of her upbringing. And I do feel with this lady, she also had a lot of passion and a lot of love for her family. I'm also feeling with her that she was a lady that sort of had her hands like this. I do feel that I'm walking around with my hands being held in this way. Okay. As she comes in even closer, I do feel that it's a mother energy. Okay. I do feel I'm with the lady at the back with the parka. The one who brought biscuits in. It could be mother or grandmother. I've just got this maternal feeling. May I work with you? Can you hear me all right? Do I have to stand?
You're fine, you
Okay.
wander where you are.
Okay. I do feel with this lady that she was absolutely lovely and very supportive to other people, but sometimes her honesty did get her into trouble.
I wasn't very old when she died, so I can't sort of tell you too much more.
I'm having trouble hearing since COVID. I've lost part of my hearing. Sorry about this.
She passed when she was very young, so she doesn't know very
Oh,
much.
so
to
you
be
don't
able to
know much
confirm.
information about her?
Not too much, no.
Okay. I do feel with this lady that she has been around you recently. I'm not sure if you're aware of energies around you at all. I do feel also she's given me a memory link. She's showing me her looking up at a church. So a church would have been something that was near to where she lived. Does this make sense? And she looks up to that church and she is part of that church. It would be something she would have attended. Okay, thank you. She's also, I'm getting a few names, but I'm not sure if they're her name or names around her. I've got the name Grace as being specific to her or around her. Okay. Sorry, she just started talking very fast. I'm just slowing her down. Okay. So yeah, I hear the name Grace, so that's either around her or some connection. She's also taken me to a time where there would have been a steam train that you would have observed when you were younger. Does that make sense at all?
Not that I can remember, I'm afraid.
It was looking on from a distance. I've got a lot of feelings where she's standing and looking into the distance. So it wouldn't have been that you actually went to go on one, but you would have seen one from a distance.
I can ask my mum.
Okay, brilliant, thank you. Okay. She's also bringing to my attention an issue around your sleep pattern as well. I don't know if you're aware of awaking sort of early hours of the morning. You can't take that.
I can't.
Okay, she may mean something else. Let me work with that. Okay. Did this lady have sleep problems? Do you know that much?
I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay, no problem. Okay. She's also given me a couple of months as well. She's given me September and she's given me November as possible anniversaries or birthdays.
I don't know which month she passed. I know that wouldn't be her birthday, but I don't know which month she passed.
Okay, I understand. Right, okay. She's also coming forward to give you a bit of support as well and to give you healing. I know we spoke about healing within this session, and it's almost as feel it's not so much physical, but you just need that overall healing to give you that sense of well-being.
Thank you.
Okay. Right. I've also asked her for a bit more evidence because to me there's not enough evidence here for me to prove that this lady is here apart from the obvious information. And what she's given to me is a red ball as being significant. I'm not sure if you can take that at the moment. You may have to ask your mum. Again, it's not solid evidence, but like you said, you didn't know her that well, so it's very difficult for me to find that something that she would give you. So could you express to your mum, it's a red ball, it's about this big. It's not a really small ball, it's about this big, okay? And it will be significant. Okay, just to put the pieces of puzzle into place, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you so much for working with me. Thank you. So I should have said actually about my hearing. Since I had COVID, I've lost a little bit of it. So if I ask you to repeat it, I do apologise. As this lady stepped out of my energy, I had this gentleman step in very, very quickly. I do feel with this gentleman, he had a lot of nervous energy. And I do feel with this gentleman that he'd also got a lot to say when he was in that frame of mind. But also, he would retreat quite a bit as well. I do feel with this gentleman that he wasn't that old when he passed. I do feel it's coming quite close now, and I do feel he comes up taller than me, and he does talk very quickly. I do feel that he talks very quickly. Can anybody recognise this gentleman? He has a lot of nervous energy. He's always on the go. Oh, okay. What can you take?
All of it.
All of it?
All of it.
Okay, and I find it very difficult to stay still, and that is something he would do. It's almost as if ever I walk past anything, I'd fiddle with it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a really annoying habit.
Yes.
Just fiddle with this, whatever it was. Okay. I do feel with this gentleman, it's also, he's showing me some sort of moped or something, and something that was a bit of a joke to do with this moped.
Yeah, I can
as a
accept
memory
that.
link.
Yes, I can accept that.
Okay. He's really, really talking fast, and I do feel with him that you obviously are aware. I know you're aware of spirit, but I do know that he comes around you quite frequently.
Thank you. Yes, he does.
And also, I do feel he's not one that comes around quietly.
Oh, God, no.
It's not just you can sense him and you can hear him, but you can actually see things moving.
Yeah.
Okay. I also feel with this gentleman that he wasn't a reader, but he had a lot of knowledge.
Yes.
He had a lot of knowledge, life knowledge, and he used that life knowledge to help people, even though he could be a bit irritating because he was always on the go. On the odd occasion, when he slowed down, he had some really good advice.
Yes.
And he surprised people.
Yes, he absolutely.
By what he knew.
Yes.
Okay. I said to him, if he could give you a gift, what would he give you? And I don't know if you know, it's like a horn that you listen through. What are they called? So people...
Yeah, the ear trumpet.
Yeah, the ear trumpet.
Yeah.
I've never seen one being used, but he's giving you an ear trumpet for some reason. I have no idea why, he's just laughing.
Yeah.
But he's also giving you a blank book.
Thank you.
And you need to start now.
Thank you.
Okay. It says fist bump.
Yeah. He was the fist bumper before fist bumping. Yeah.
Okay. Leave his best wishes with you.
Thank you. May I just tell you something?
Yeah.
I used to work with this young man. He was an atheist in the strongest sense of the word. We had a bet going and I won. But it's a year since he passed this week. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Now that gentleman's left, I have another lady that's come into my energy. I do feel with this lady that she had a lot of problems with headaches and funny head before she passed. She's showing me and giving me that sense. I do feel with this lady, she's about my build. I do feel also with this lady, she lost a lot of her mobility as well towards the end of her life. I'm also feeling with her a sense of breathlessness as well. So she had quite a few different conditions, but I do feel with her, she didn't share it all with people. Okay. I'm just trying to get more of a sense of her. I do feel that she was in her 60s, 70s when she passed. And I do feel that she came from this area, Ely, Littleport area. Can anyone take this lady at all? I do feel she's saying that she had a sister. She had a sister, that's quite important as well. She's not saying whether it's with her or down here. Okay. I do feel with this lady that she did have a family and she thought the family was everything. But I do feel with this lady, she had a wider community of people around her as well. Okay.
I think it could be my mum.
Sorry?
I think it could be my mum.
Your mum. What can you take from that?
Quite a lot of it.
Okay, may I work with you? I do feel with this lady also, she was very, very strong-minded and a bit stubborn as well.
Yeah.
And she said, you could be like that too.
Yeah.
She's laughing, but she's got an absolutely beautiful smile.
Yes.
It would light a room up whenever she went into a room. I'm not just saying that, I can actually feel the sense of, it's just almost though everything was so genuine with her. She really, when she spoke to people, she spoke from the heart, and she wasn't afraid to do that. Okay. She's also giving me a memory link. She's showing me a row of terraced houses. She's showing me a cobbled street. Would this be somewhere she would have lived when she was younger?
Yes.
It was very cobbled. It was the old-fashioned type of cobbles, and it was very difficult to walk on. Okay. I do feel with this lady that she had quite a few times towards the end of her life where she just wanted to be on her own. It's almost as if she wanted that solitude. She loved her family, but she also wanted that solitude. I also sense with this lady that she's got a dog with her as well. I do feel there's a sense of a dog. Was that dog with her or with you? I'm not sure. But I've got a sense of a dog.
It would be my sister's dog.
Okay, right. I just had to mention him because if I didn't, he'd carry on pestering me. So I just thought I'd mention him. Okay. Now she's come up with something random. She's brought a bunch of bananas to me. I don't know what the significance is that. Can you accept bananas?
Yes.
Okay, right. I did say that people do give me random things, but they gave me bananas. Another thing she's showing me as a piece of evidence, she's showing me a light shade with all like tassels around it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Fabulous. Okay. I know we had a conversation earlier on, and I said about your art, but she really does want you to start doing it.
Okay.
And she will help you. She will help you take that first step.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's because she used to be creative. She liked to look at nice pictures. She liked to look at nice things, and she'd always wished that she'd given it a go. And she doesn't want you to get to the stage where you say, oh, I can't do it now.
Okay.
It's too late. Okay, she wants you to do it now. Okay. She's even given me a certain palette of colours as well. She's given me blues. She's given me purples. Obviously, purple's very dominant here. Blues, purples, yellows, all those types of reds as well. It's almost as if she's handing that palette to you. Okay. She's also been closer to you recently. I don't know if more thoughts have been sent out, but I think you've been asking questions as well. I'm not here to give you answers, but as you know, if you keep an open mind, you will see those answers. You will see them before you. Okay. She's also taking me to April next year. April the 29th. So 29th? Yeah, there is. Yeah. 29th of April. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, she's giving me 29th of April. She's also showing me a book that you've attempted to read but didn't read. They quite often do this for me for some reason. It's a book that you keep trying to read, but you think you don't understand it.
Yeah.
Do you know which book I'm referring to?
Yeah.
Okay. Go to chapter 6, read the first paragraph, and digest what it says.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. This lovely lady is coming in with loads and loads of love for you. And she's bringing in a little Christmas tree. It's only about this big, but it's pink. It's bright pink. Okay? So I'm going to leave that with you. Okay? And leave lots and lots of love. Big hug as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, as that lady left me, I had a gentleman whiz in here. I do feel with this gentleman, I do feel he was a dad and had a brother. I do feel as though with this gentleman, he did a lot of manual work. I do feel my hands are quite rough, so it would have been hands-on work. I do feel with this gentleman, he did have a lot of pressure here when he passed. I do feel with him, he was a very quiet gentleman at times, but like we said before, sometimes people were surprised by his knowledge. Okay, who am I being drawn to? Do you feel I'm with you? It's Barry, isn't it? Yeah. Do you feel drawn to you? Can you take any of this?
Yes.
Okay. Do you take the brother?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I feel with this gentleman, like I said, he had really rough hands, so I do feel he did something physical. But I can't see what he's showing me. It's not quite clear enough. I do feel with him that he liked to do a lot of walking as well. He liked to be outside.
Yes.
He actually preferred to be outside because he liked that space.
Yes.
Away from people. I do feel that he didn't really like crowds very much.
No.
You know, sort of like if you go shopping, he likes to just like go in there and get what he wants to come out.
Yeah.
I do feel that was, and it was because he just didn't like loads of people packed
He liked his
in.
own space sometimes.
Okay, thank you. He's also showing me the colour blue. I mean, I know you've got blue on, but he's showing me blue as being significant.
Yeah.
I'm not sure why, let me work with that. He's also come with his hands out like this, and it's got some sort of flute across it. I don't know if that's reference to you or him. I think it's a flute. It's quite long, and it's...
I had a clarinet when I was a teenager.
Oh, could it be... It's...
Looks the same. Doesn't it?
What does a clarinet look like? I'm not sure. To me, it looks like... Would I mistake it for a flute?
It's a flute with an open end.
Yeah, I played one at school.
Okay, because it just come like this,
Yes.
and he wants me to offer that to you. Okay. Have you thought about taking up?
No, it's a joke.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what he brought forward. I'm sorry, I didn't recognise. I don't know the difference. So. Okay. Right. He's also showing me a yo-yo as well as being significant when you were younger.
I don't remember the yo-yo.
There's a yo-yo, and it was like he could do tricks with it walking along the floor. There's someone around you that had a yo-yo. Just hold on to that because he's laughing, He's showing me this yo-yo and he's laughing. So obviously there's some significance. Just have a little think while we're talking. Okay. The next thing he's shown, it's almost like he's got a bag of props. And the next thing he's shown me is a gold crown. I mean, I know it's getting near Christmas, but he's actually shown me this gold crown. I've asked him to be a bit more, come on, get back. Okay. It's almost as though he was a joker at times. Not always, but every so often he'd surprise people and he was actually quite funny.
Yes, yes.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It wasn't all the time, and a lot of people didn't get him. But at some point, he'd do something, and he'd just have you in stitches.
Yeah, he would do scenes or come out online sometimes, yeah.
And I think this is what he's demonstrating now, and he wants me to give you that gift of laughter as well. He says you need to laugh more. He said because you've got a fantastic laugh, and when you laugh and smile, your whole face lights up. He wants to see more of that. Okay, and I do feel that he's behind you, actually edging you forward towards something. I'm not sure what it is, but he wants to give you that encouragement to go forward. Because he's saying he feels that you're just sitting, waiting for something. And he said you need to take that first step forward. And he says you just need to open your mind. I'm going to be behind you every step of the way. And I do feel this overwhelmed pride of you as well. He said, you've dealt with a lot. You're coming to a point now. Just got to take that one step of faith and go forward. Yes. And I do feel this gentleman has learned so much since he passed. He feels to me like his wisdom has just expanded and he wants to share that with you. He said, listen, I'm going to speak to you. Well, how wonderful is that? I'm going to speak to you and you're going to hear me. He says, lots of love. Thank you for working with me. Thank you. Very strong energy. Okay. Okay. I've just had two sisters come into my energy. Now, these two sisters were like a double act. Can't quite hear the name. Does anybody know of two sisters in spirit? Anyone here know of two sisters in spirit? Both of them in spirit. Can you take that?
Yeah, two energies.
Are they like a double act? Did they used to sort of feed off each other? Yeah, I do feel. May I work with you?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'll try and get some more. I'm going to walk it.
That's fine.
So I can hear you. Have I got to take the mic with me?
No, you're fine. I just move it closer to you.
Okay, I do feel with these two sisters that they had a really good relationship, but also they could argue quite a bit as well. And I do feel with them also that their bond was really strong though. If anything happened to either one of them, the other one would really step up and be there. And I do feel also, as I'm feeling your energy now, actually, I feel that I'm really, really connecting with you. And I do feel with these sisters, they are around you quite frequently.
Yeah.
You are aware of them being around you. Have they been a bit mischievous lately? Have you had some items moving?
Oh, that's
Or
genuine.
losing?
Yeah.
Oh, is that normal, is it? I know most of us spiritualists, we know that things move. But it's almost as if they've been doing it a little bit more. They're almost trying to get your attention. I do feel they're trying to get your attention. I do feel there's a place you've come to that you've been asking questions. Obviously, I can't give you the answers. I don't know what the question is. But it's almost as though you've been asking, and within a few months, you're going to get the answers that you need. I'm not sure if you do mediumship. I mean, I know you're a spiritualist. I don't know how far your energy expands.
I might be a little bit mediumistic.
Well, you have to be careful. I don't want to assume. We don't want to assume things, do we? When we come in the church, we don't want to assume things about people. Okay, right. I do feel with these two sisters, though, they're actually coming for a reason.
One of them is my mother, and the other one is my aunt, and they were very close. And you're spot on. You're okay.
Okay, I do feel that they're coming in around you. I don't know if it's the time of the year when family starts coming together. I'm not sure about that, but I do feel that they come with a sense of pride as well. They come with a sense of pride. It's perhaps something they never discussed with you when they were on the earth plane, but they are proud of you. They are proud of your achievements, and they are actually overwhelmed by your part you played within spiritualism as well.
They would be.
Okay, so I'm asking for some evidence, but I want more. Okay. What they're showing me. Okay. Again, they're taking me to the countryside. I'm not sure if that's where they live, but they're standing me in a large open space. And it's somewhere that they really enjoyed visiting.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't see too much. It's just literally beautiful. Green, there's trees, there's just everything you could want. And I do feel with that, they want you to go outside more as well. You to connect with those elements. You probably already do as well. I said to them, if you could give a gift, what would it be? And they said a dustpan and brush. I don't know if that makes sense. But it's not just any dustpan brush. It's one of them little sticks.
Yeah.
So she gives you that.
Thank you.
I don't know why. Do you know why?
I do know why.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm not saying that in public.
Okay. I do feel these ladies, they are lovely, they are lovely energies. I think on the earth plane they said we could be a handful at times, especially when we got together.
Yes, when we were together. Definitely.
And they although they were a handful, they brought joy. They brought joy to a lot of people, and they want to bring joy to you now.
Thank you.
That's it. They just come. They come because they can. They've come to just say hello, to give that love, to give that upliftment.
Thank you.
So I leave their love with you. Thank you for working with me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, sorry, I've got to walk over.
You're fine. Got about 10 minutes, my love. Got about 10 minutes.
As I return to this side, I do feel there's another lady that's stepped into my energy. I do feel with this lady that she was probably in her 40s when she passed. I do feel with this lady she was a gentle soul. Ooh. Does anyone know a lady who's passed, sort of in her 40s? She's a gentle soul, absolutely beautiful, but she was taken before her time. May I work? I've got to go back home then.
It's fine. Oh, bless you. Thank you.
May I work with you? Excellent. Okay. Like I said, she's a beautiful soul. I do feel that it was something she didn't share at first with people until it was perhaps too late. Does that make sense? That's all she's saying to me. I know more than it was too late. Okay. I do feel with this lady as well that she was just so positive. It didn't matter what was thrown at her. She would find something positive in it. Does that make sense? And I do feel a little bit like that. Most of the time, you see the good in people and things. Does that make sense? she said, but you are suffering at the moment. Is that true? And it's almost as though she feels you need a bit of healing, a bit of nurturing, and a bit of self-love. Yeah. So this lady comes forth with that healing for you. I do feel with this lady, she's showing me that she did like to go out when she could. She did like to go dancing as well. I don't know whether it was to a club or whatever, she's not telling me. She's saying she just liked to move to music. So whether it was out or at home, the music really spoke to her. Does that make sense? Okay. I do feel with this lady. Like I said, she was very gentle, but she was very honest. She actually said how it was. She wouldn't sort of like go around the house. She would tell the truth. She would be honest, but she was very tactful. Okay, she was. Yeah. She said sometimes you're not. Sorry.
How true.
And she said, I want to see more of this as well. This smiling, this laughing, you've got a lovely smile. She said,
Yes.
don't lose that smile. Don't lose that inner child. It's almost as if she wants you to be more childlike at times. Does that make sense? Trouble is, when we grow up, we get all these responsibilities, don't we? And she's saying, just remember the inner child. What would that inner child do? This lady is so lovely, and she feels so full of positivity. It's amazing. And she says, yeah, you've had a few issues, you've had a few ups and downs, but don't ever let them pull you back. She says, make the most of every moment. She said, I certainly did. Once I knew, I made the most of every moment. Every moment made a memory, she said. And you are part of my memories. Okay. I said to her, if I could give you a gift, what would it be? And she said, a record player. You don't hear much about her. She wants me to give you that. Okay. She's also showing me some flowers. I think they're flowers, but they're flowers. They're quite small ones. They're perfect, like irises. She's given me a bunch of irises to give to you. And leave us unblinking. Thank you for working with me so much. Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, all right. Carry on.
Okay, as that lady left, she left me with so much positivity. That's so lovely. I've had another lady come in. I do feel with this lady that she was a grandma. She said, I prefer to be called grandma. I do feel she passed later in life. I do feel that she was quite a small lady. I do feel with her hair, it was loads of different shades of grey. And I'm hearing several names being said this time. I'm hearing the name Beryl, and I'm hearing the name Susan as names around her or connected to her. Can anyone take this lady at all? Am I with you?
Well, it's a funny thing because you're saying names of people at work.
Sorry?
It's like, I thought, I know you were talking about, then you said the two names, and I thought, it sounds like the people who used to work together.
So can you take this lady?
Yeah.
Okay. May I work with you?
Yes.
I just feel back. As soon as you spoke,
Yeah.
you're...
I just don't know much about them except that I know they work with my mum.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So with this lady, so you wouldn't know much information about her then?
I might know bits and
Okay. Right. So this lady has come today. It's almost to relay a message. And this message is of positivity again, positivity. But she was getting very, she's talking about this, and then she showed me a bingo card. Randomly showed me a bingo card. Is that significant? Sorry?
Also cold. Lauren is away at the moment. Now I'm thinking it could be a very she's been playing bingo.
Alright, don't worry. It's like,
Bingo,
I will give you information.
Yeah.
There's a lot. If you don't know it, that's fine. But I do feel with this lady, she's shown me a bingo card, so I do feel that that's quite significant.
Okay.
Whether it's something she enjoyed or
Yeah,
you
yeah.
or the person you think of enjoyed. But she showed me that. She was sort of starting to say a bit of philosophy. It's almost as if she suddenly changed. So whether or not I do have one or two people, I'm not sure. I feel it's one energy. But like I said, she showed me the bingo card, and I then feel that this excitement was building up within her. And as she spoke to me, it got stronger. You said you felt change. That's because everybody has moved in, and it's almost as though I can now feel several energies around me. I'm just sort of trying to strip that back. Okay. So the lady I have with me now, she's making me feel that she was a lady who would take people in, she would talk to people, she would be that sort of listener, that healer through listening. I do feel that she listened to a lot of people, but she never passed on whatever it was that she learned from them. I also feel with this lady that the kitchen was a very important place for her to be. That was the hub of her life. This is what she's saying to me, it's the hub of her life. And I can also hear radio playing in that kitchen. And, what's that program called? Archers. I'm hearing the Archers, the theme tune. I don't know anything about it, I'm just hearing that. Okay. So there's lots of little bits and pieces I'm getting here. I'm sorry I can't pinpoint it all. But this lady is coming in to give you love and to give you healing. She's also talking about May as being significant, May. And also she's talking about October, the month of October. Okay, there are 2 months that I've just heard her shout to me. She's also saying that there's going to be quite a change in February as well. There's a change coming. There's going to be a change of energy around you. I'm not sure if you're aware of anything around you.
I'll tell you what, I'm getting very
I do feel that the lady that's with me and the other people that are behind her, I do feel they're all coming in, and it's almost as if they're expanding your energy. And I feel that you can be more aware of energies around you. So I don't know if you know, but if a thought goes out, they come close.
These are all people that are connected with.
Yeah. So you started off with this lady who you knew, and then it was grandma. I do feel it's grandma.
Yeah, my grandma always comes to me.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah.
She wants to leave you with a watch. She says, although the time goes by, you take your time, but never stop moving forward. Okay. So I leave those words with you. Thank you so much for speaking up.
So good. I really feel it, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No, don't.
Sorry? Okay, I have another gentleman in my energy. I do feel this gentleman. He's very witty. He's got a dark sense of humour. He's a bit bigger than me. I do feel that he's bigger than me. He fills me out a bit more. I know it's getting near Christmas, but he's standing there going, ho, 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 ho. And this is something he would have done. Does this make sense to anyone? It's just this ho, ho, ho. It's a really deep one. I can't do it that deep. And I do feel with this gentleman, he did love Christmas.
It sounds much like my husband.
Sorry?
It sounds like Francis. He used to play the part of Father Christmas.
Could it be? Oh,
Yeah.
No. No pressure then.
No.
Thanks, Francis. Okay, so I'm going to go with this. So, listen. I do feel with him. I feel like I want to march. Would that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
I do feel I want to
Yeah.
march.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm also feeling quite a lot of stiffness in my hands.
Yes.
Stiffness in my hands. Okay. Not anymore.
Yeah.
And I do feel he's making me move about quite a bit. It's almost as though I've got it back. You know, I've got this movement back.
Yeah.
But the marching's really important and really significant.
Very.
Okay. I'm just getting just because I can.
Yeah.
That's all I'm getting. Loads of love.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, God. Welcome. Yes, he always used to follow up just because I can, so I bloody well will. And that was his way. And I will say to you, the marching's extremely significant because of Sunday.
Oh, right. Okay.
And the first time I ever marched in the parade was with him. And we three marched this year because of him.
Oh, that's so nice.
Because he was the one who organised and arranged us as a church being part of Remembrance Sunday. And that will now forever be his legacy. He was the one who fought hammer and tong to get us there. And we will continue to do it every year for him because it meant so much to him. And of course, he was a copper as well, so we knew how to blooming well march. And I will say that this time of year, he would stop shaving his beard, grow it out, brush it upwards, and he would dress as Father Christmas.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So absolutely wonderful. I can certainly vouch for the strength of your evidence tonight, getting a double whammy. I don't mind. And, you know, seeing the faces around tonight as well, I know how appreciative we are of your work and the work of your friends in spirit.
Thank you.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You've proved it, and I will say, you've proved a point tonight that my teacher and mentor in mediumship always enforced upon me, because I'm a bit of a natterer and I won't shut up and I spend too long with people and don't go round to enough. You gave evidence upon evidence upon evidence in a short space of time to a lot of people tonight. And I know that my teacher in mediumship would have said, bloody well done. And I know she would because she's sitting right there.
All right.
I did say well done. Actually.
She did. Yeah. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tracy Bidwell! Well, friends, the time has come to close the service, and I've got some good news for us, but bad news for everyone at home. You see, with cutbacks and shortfalls, my data runs out very quickly. So we're going to end the online service in just a few moments. But I cannot end the service without sharing something quite important, because it would be remiss not to show the world this gorgeous piece of art. And I know she's been very crafty this week, because a little birdie tells me that Hannah made a pom-pom for a lady who gave her some money and she donated it to the church. Yeah. Some lucky winner of the raffle tonight is going to win this wonderful piece of encorsed art. and I felt it on about to show you all what a wonderful artist this young lady is. So I'm going to put it back there now. I will try and remember what direction to put it, because I turn half a dozen directions and enjoy every single one, which I think is brilliant. So friends, thank you. Thank you all for being part of tonight. It's been truly wonderful to see you all here. The warmth in the hall not only comes from the radiators, but the radiators sitting in the chairs. I will just reminisce briefly about your chilly experience as you turned cold. It reminded me of a comment a certain young lady not too far away used to make when we were having a bit of a giggle in the circle room, and someone would say, "Oh, did you just feel that?" And she'd go, "There you are, a psychic breeze." And we always used to have good fun, and I know that our friends in circle were with us tonight as well, because they were all lined up at the front watching and poking fun at me and supporting you, Tracy. Because I'm very much aware that once upon a time, there were a row of about 4 or 5 ladies sitting in this hall, of which you were one. And you came with Dora?
Dora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know that the certain young lady who made sure you were booked again would have been very proud of you tonight.
Yeah, definitely.
And she'll be collaring at my mother to make sure you're booked again. There you go. Wendy's already had her oaring, so there we go.
Yeah.
And I know Wendy was extremely proud of you and still continues to be so.
Yeah.
So
Lovely.
thank you for being part of our family.
No problem.
Friends, let us pray. As we say, Great Spirit, Father, Mother, God, we thank you truly for the opportunity to unite in this place and in this space under your love, your parental guidance, and your kindness. For we recognize, Great Spirit, that the names and the faces and the descriptions that the world shares of you are only a small portion of the truth, only a small substance of what really is the Great Spirit. And although we know that we can never truly know and understand eternity, we do know the one most important thing, that your love is eternal and unconditional. And we here appreciate and accept that that's all we need to know. So until we meet again in your name as ever, we state that request as we finish with each week. We do not ask you to move the mountain. Just please give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Friends, thank you. So we're now going to let you guys at home go and boil the kettle. And if you're quick, you can catch up on iPlayer or something, the soaps that you've missed. And we thank you all for joining us each week. But from us all here, may the peace of the Great Spirit go with you all. God bless you, and good night.